Hey, this is Jupiter Exile, and I don't have a ton of time left tonight, but I thought I'd stream Elden Ring for a couple of hours. And that's couple is literal, because I'll have to get to bed so I can wake up in time for work. Make sure that the stream is up. Make sure we've got a good bit rate and all that stuff. Here, okay. Okay. Got the stream up. Man, maybe it's a little late. All right, so I've got two options. I can keep fighting this boss, or I can head around and try to kind of clean up stuff. I've got various things that I could do. I still don't know how to get over here, for one. So I could maybe investigate that. I'm not sure where to start, as far as that's concerned. I still don't know what, if anything, is up with maybe a secret lift to try and get over to this one area that I'm missing. The, what's it called? Oh, the Halig Tree. Yeah. Still don't know what's up with that. Let's see. Apart from that, I don't think I'm missing any Everjails or things. There are plenty of dungeons that I haven't beaten. There is a quick little maintenance thing I wanted to take care of on the way into Castle Morn. So I understand that there's a quest here that we can possibly get some progress on. I kind of left behind, maybe, regarding Arena. Actually, this is further north. Needs to be just past the Bridge of Sacrifice. Okay, so here is Irina's corpse. Yep, still dead. All right, I need to tell her father that she is dead back over in Castle Morn. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a trek, so let's deal with it. Yeah, I'm not going to bother changing this stuff around from what it's set as to fight the giant. Set up for giant fighting. I'll grab a couple butterflies on my way in. They're handy. I don't quite remember what enemies are around here. Oh, lay off. Oh, they do know how to climb, don't they? They took out that guard pretty fast. I don't really want to slow down. Let's see, where's Papa from this angle? I think I have to go up another staircase here. Or ladder, not staircase. Pretty sure I have to go up here, because he's over on that rampart. So I need to head over here, and then down here. Alright, now getting across this bridge is a bit of a hassle. There's a tough fight here. Long weapon. for the win. And I believe we head down this way. Past all this stuff, and up here.
I'm inured for keeping the sword from I'm no longer unsafe. Rest. Thanks to you and devote Marina has a I only hope.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and devote Marina has a I only hope.
So, problem is, last time I came over here, I just didn't talk to him again. It's like missing one extra bit of dialogue progression. Bummer, man. Like... So now he'll come over here.
How could this be? My daughter deserves fought lives. I chose duty over and I'll find the foul wretch. I'll hunt them down and rest assured. I'll hunt them down, rest assured.
And I don't actually know where it goes after that. I just wanted to get that done, and we'll see if he reoccurs somewhere. I'm probably far beyond where he would show up at this point. There's a lot of things that I've kind of left by the wayside in that way. There's still a spot in Celia that I haven't figured out. Oh, and I wanted to check on this. In the vicinity of the Siofra Well. Ouch. Well, that's annoying. I wonder if I had woke up slower, maybe I would have been protected from that. I'm not sure how exactly the hitbox for that fire breath thing turns out. So naturally, the Spiffing Brit has gotten in on Elden Ring at this point, and I noticed from his thumbnail that he is referencing magic as being fantastically overpowered, and he's correct. I've seen what you can do with magic in the game. It gets very powerful very quickly. Alright, didn't happen twice in a row. There's one down. Try and hide behind a tree for this bit. Didn't quite make it, but he only hit Torrent. Don't give this a lot of berth, considering my recent track record. Alright, and that downed him. This root is very much in the way. Okay, gee, thanks. And that takes care of him. Riding along. First one down. Alright, I believe there are more symbols around here. Oh, I didn't have two hands on my weapon. In one. Alright, so that's what I'd be looking at to get the Great Jar interaction dealt with. It's not super worth it to me right now, but theoretically I have to win 3 of those fights in a row. Noted. That's the Great Jar. The run back is also a little annoying. I should probably try blocking if I actually want to deal with those. Alright, let's see. So the Deep-Root Depths, I think I've largely figured out. I don't expect there's much more to do down there. I'm going to go back to trying to fight this giant. I think, unlike my other SL1 runs, I'm not very likely to make this an all-bosses run. There's a lot of bosses in Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring has somewhere between like 80 and 101 bosses. Maybe even more. Okay, let's go. I still think this gear setup's pretty good. This posture's very weird. Okay, he's got a fireball out, and we want to keep good distance from that. We actually like to get a lock on him. There we go, there we go. You know, I could be trying to exploit this slope against him, technically. Okay, he's got a second fireball. He's going to throw one. Okay. Nice little hit. I don't know where the other fireball went. There's phase 2. Okay, that'll kill me. Got it. Ah, and he can roll to either side, so that could also cause me to die. Gotta be aware of those things for phase 2. Yeah, the way I'm thinking about it now, I'm kind of thinking phase 2 is either going to be a slog or a crapshoot. Let's try some of the strategies I was thinking about earlier for how to kind of trim that down. So I'm thinking what I would like to do is try and inflict poison on him, probably in the latter part of phase 1. So in the interest of that, going to change this off to Poisonous Mist with the poison effect. Let's see. What else do we want to do with that? We could try and do like a triple status set where we try to inflict him with poison, or a double status set. We try to inflict him with poison and rot before we try to flip his phase over. For that, I will have to change out one of these items for the Prosthesis Wearer Heirloom, which is going to give me better damage in a lot of ways. Okay. So our game plan is get through phase 1, then not the phase, get through the first half of phase 1, knock the little thingamajig off. Then in the start of phase 2, we're going to try and inflict poison on him, then we're going to try and inflict Scarlet Rot as well, and see just how many statuses we can bog him down with before he makes the transition into his real phase 2. This is also hoping that he's not going to drop statuses when he goes into his real phase 2, and that's just something we're going to discover. Let's see. I also don't know how effective these statuses are. It might take a lot of doing to get him to feel the poison. Bleed has been pretty effective. It's only 3 or 4 slashes to cause a bleed proc to happen. Okay, he went in with a different first attack than usual, and I was not ready for it. So I'm actually not very comfortable with his overhead slam. If I can't get close to him anyway. The correct answer there was actually just to keep moving towards him. I don't think he would have gotten me if I was still moving towards him. The other answer there is I should have drank my flask on the way in, because that could deal with one-off issues like that. This is also a boss where we're not using the Ritual Shield Talisman, because it's not going to be enough for his massive attacks and huge damage. We could try the Tears of Denial flask, and then we would have 2 different, like, live better effects on the mixed physic. I could not finish the drink and roll fast enough. The drink was a bad habit. I am going to change the mixed physic, though, because I'm not using any other actual effects on it. So let's try and see if the emergency heal works for our purposes. If so, I'm going to call that a welcome addition to the run. Okay. Crimson Bubble Tear. Okay, yep, so we've got the Bubble Tear effect there. Well, the 2 Bubble Tear effects. This is now 2 Bubble Tears that we're using. That time I had the ability to... Ouch! The Crimson Tear didn't activate on that one. So, did the Crimson Tear activate as part of the first attack? Did they both activate at the same time? So maybe these items are very redundant. I'm going to try and pay more attention to the buffs this time and see what happens when I take a hit. Although it would be better to just not take a hit. I was fussing around and seeing if I could choose to not be on horseback, but it just seems like a really bad idea to not be on horseback here. Okay, Torrent still got hit there. Bummer. Switch weapon, please. There we go. Ouch. Okay, so the red bubble tier, which was still active there, did nothing? Actually, I thought I still had both tiers up. Did neither of them work? Are they not good enough against giant attacks? Or did I get hit somewhere in there that I... No, okay, the hit on Torrent probably did something that I didn't see in terms of the buffs. So I'm assuming that first hit actually got me and I didn't recognize it. Let's see. Try it again. Now I noticed that the fast swinging weapon actually does a fine amount of damage compared to the Bloodhound Blade. So maybe I don't need to use it so much. Maybe I don't need to focus on the Bloodhound Blade. The bleed proc is very good. Okay. I still have the red tier effect. Back away from that. And I still got crushed immediately. So whatever the Crimson Bubble tier does, it does not seem very effective for this run. Does not seem to work out here. It is taking notably more hits to try and get something done with this poison weapon. And thus far, I don't think I've been able to inflict poison on him. I'm going to try one more time to try and see what kind of barrier we're dealing with here, basically. And then beyond that, I'm going to go back to the strat I was on with the Bloodhound Blade. So it looks like the big damage of the Bloodhound Blade is really like getting progress done here. And if it involves sitting next to the giant for a much, much longer time in order to make something else happen, well, that might not be worthwhile. It would be really nice if I could get that to stop happening. I couldn't tell quite what was happening there. I got saved by my bubble tier. That one was me rolling. And that one, Torrent took for me. Okay, poison is on him. I can see he's taking the damage ticks. So now we're on the Anspur Rapier. Whew. Build some distance. I want to see this thing go off. So poison is definitely racking up the damage. I don't know if Scarlet Rot is on him or not. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's probably on him. Yeah, I could not see what was happening there, so it's a bummer. So I'm assuming both of those effects actually did take effect on him. I just don't know if it's good enough to worry about, because for all of that trouble, I didn't actually get him into his second phase. And before, I was definitely getting him in his second phase. Okay. Yeah, these are both very, very effective. I need one of them to equip the weapon. I need the strength one to equip the weapon. And this is just, like 20 AR. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to go back to the Lance Talisman here for the enhanced horseback attacks. It seems to me like being on horseback constantly for this fight is the right way to do it. So we're going to lean into that harder. Or rather, lean back into that. I think I need that more than I need the stamina recovery. Although we are routinely running out of stamina using this weapon to fight. So I think it's probably somewhat viable to use things like Poison and Scarlet Rot. Let me put one of those back on, because I think it might be viable, but probably only in the third phase. And it's probably a bit of overkill to carry both of them. Or not the third phase, rather, but the second proper phase. Third or second, whichever. Because I think that the weak spot I'm attacking probably doesn't matter. That'll get me. I needed to dismount to dodge that. With the trajectory it was coming in as. The, yeah, I took two pretty unfortunate hits on the way in there. I feel like his first attack, the Upheaval Wave, it feels a little random to me whether or not I get hit on it. I think that's unfortunately been the case for a lot of ground-based attacks that you're expected to jump over using Torrent. It's happening pretty routinely that I get clipped trying to dodge that. And I imagine that dodging it on foot, I don't know if it would even be the same. Like, maybe dodging it on foot, I could just dodge through it without a problem. 'Cause it doesn't seem too persistent as a hitbox. Okay, yeah, we only survived that because of the, big damage. Okay. There's the phase change. I'm going to try the rapier now. Still not affected by rot. I want to take my distance. He's rolled off. Don't punch me. Don't punch me. He rolled over me. Okay, so that was a lot of impaling for no Scarlet Rot. So I'm gonna say that's... I don't think that's a good strat. I think it's got to be either Blood or possibly Frost. He is a fire giant, so Frost might be effective here. But it looks like the most effective thing has just been hitting him with this big old greatsword, getting that blood damage in. Now, we do have a bit of time during his transitionary stuff in the third phase to land some pretty beefy hits. I mean, I did inflict like a couple thousand damage by virtue of the Antspur Rapier, just by nicking at his feet a lot. I think his total HP is something like, something in the realm of 30,000. Oh, whoops. My weapon was not out. Okay, I got into the wrong spot there. And my weapon is unequipped again. For some reason, my character was dual-wielding his, like, fist from the left hand. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, so what the heck are you doing, buddy? There we go. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on the weapon juggling for a bit. Okay, I couldn't move back away from that fast enough. I don't think I could move forward away from it fast enough. I'm starting to have second thoughts about whether or not this really should be a horsey fight. Because it seems as though when I'm on the horse, I'm powerless to dodge some of these attacks that I need to dodge. Like, on the way in, I'm taking a hit almost every time, and I feel like I have better dodge frames by dismounting, and that I should just be dismounted for most of the fight. There is a very, very slight advantage to being mounted in terms of mobility, but I don't think it's like catching up, and it's just making me annoyed that I can't see the boss clearly because he's so tall. I can't tell just by looking at his feet what he's gonna do with his attacks. And I can't zoom the camera out further to know what's up if I'm not mounted. When you're mounted, it seems you do get a further camera by default. All right, there's the phase change. Okay, lost the bubble tier because he decided to roll twice in a row. Yeah, this is not a horseback fight at all. I gotta watch out for that. That looks super dangerous. Thank goodness he rolled away. I was not sure what to do there. I need to take distance on this, I think. It's the 2 orbs. I think I need to mount up for the orbs. I can't watch the terrain and the boss at the same time. Okay, so I think the last phase, we don't want to be on horseback. It's not that hard to look at him without being on horseback in that phase. And we just need to kind of get through. Now, I think that maybe in that phase, faster attacks will be suiting us really well. So what I'm going to go with for that is a blood-oriented longsword. So we're sticking with bleed the whole time. It seems really effective. But we'll just be going for like really fast longsword cuts on his what's it called? We'll be going for really fast longsword cuts on his hands, and we'll actually go ahead and power stance it with just like whatever other option, so that we can be making straight sword attacks for better bleed. And I'm just going to kind of hope his AI is nice, because there's a lot of things he does that will just instantly kill us. And I'm just hoping to make that phase short enough that it can work out. Okay, yeah, like, sure. That hit, and that robbed me of my normal ability. Torrent took that hit too, I guess. I didn't know he could do that twice in a row. Now we know if he doesn't get distance on his phase change attempt, he will just try again. Big damage on that bleed proc. Yeah, he put out an orb. That's a fireball. His fireball doesn't have super good tracking, unlike that attack, which apparently has amazing tracking. Whew. Had to move away from that for a good extent. That was another orb, but we'll just phase transition to stop it. Oh, getting some lag. A lot of lag. Okay, fire orbs. Use this for cover for a bit. Okay, there we go. There's a bleed proc. And he squished me. I misread that attack. I thought he was going for like a backhand swing. Okay, so we got about 5,000 damage out of the bleed proc itself. So it looks like we need to get that to happen about twice. And I think this kit seems okay to do that. We're not getting like super good damage out of like just the fact of it, I suppose is how I would say it. I don't know. We're not getting very good damage out of the weapon attacks themselves, but we don't need to. We're just going for the bleed procs. It's gonna take, I'd say about 2 bleed procs, and then we can switch back to the Bloodhound Blade for the finish. Just barely get out of that, jeez. Okay, he got knocked down, but I'm not able to make use of the knockdown with this big fireball chasing me. Gotta keep an eye on him, wait for the fireball to expire. Okay, there goes the fireball. He's going in hard. Oh. That one I gotta avoid. He does backstep fast enough to get me on it. Okay. That one we soaked with the bubble tier. That'll kill. No, didn't kill. That'll kill. His turnaround swipe like that is particularly difficult to avoid. I don't have a way to solve that if I'm on horseback. That's a move I need to be on foot to deal with. Unlike everything else. I think, I wish they had just given the horse, like, real dodge frames or something. They honestly should have given, because it's a spirit horse, it should just have an ability to, like, phase out and take you with it to avoid some of these attacks in a real way. Because the property of attacks doesn't change, but being on horseback changes your invulnerability frames in a really lame way. It makes the horse combat feel fairly out of place for the title. Which is only problematic because they seem to force big horse sequence battles as these like main story gates. I'm looking at you, Star Scourge Radon. That's gonna hurt. Okay, yeah, so I get knocked off of Torrent, and he throws out the attack that I need Torrent to avoid. Friggin' slow chase fireball. Okay, and then he just clobbers me from behind when I'm going around the other fireball he threw out. Or that I thought he threw out. It was the other kind of fireball. It wasn't the slow chase fireball that time. Blech. I'm really struggling for consistency here. And I really think the consistency answer to this boss is do the fight without Torrent. Like, use Torrent to get in the first time, then get off the horse and never look back. Which is exactly the same answer we had to use for Star Scourge Radahn. Okay. It's a little bad. Not a deal breaker. Okay, there we go. He rolled over me. I'm having a very hard time, like, getting a good feel for what's going to happen next in the second phase, because he will roll over you at the drop of a hat. It's not a very big telegraph, so I just need to, honestly, with that attack pattern as well, the fire on the ground, I can't tell when he's deobligated from that pattern. I don't know how to figure that out from my perspective on the fight. When you think about the big fights we've had in the past in Dark Souls, like the last time we fought a giant was in Dark Souls 2, and that guy does not have a whole lot of stuff he does. He's very, very restrained in terms of his actual, like, attacks. For stamina. I'm gonna eat that on the chin. And he followed it up with the attack I can't run past. I didn't realize how much delay was on that. I've never had to dodge it on... I've never tried dodging that attack on foot before. I could kind of easily describe the difficulty of this fight by how many times he's going to use that slow marching fireball. Because it's prolonging the fight, and that's really messing me up. I am not good at avoiding his attacks, because I'm not good at seeing his attacks, because he's enormous. And it's pretty cool that he is, and it makes a lot of sense for his attacks to one-shot me. I just wish he had, like, a little bit more lurch side to side, or some kind of a... if there was an audio on his roll, that would help a lot. And maybe there's some kind of audio that I'm not picking up on. So that only hit Torrent, but it did deprive me of my bubble tier. I am, like, trapped in here. Here we go. Okay, that was the pot slam, but I can't tell that... I have a hard time telling the basin slam apart from his stomps. He lifted the foot up, so I thought he was going to stomp around. But that's not what he was doing. Yeah. I think this is another one of those fights where I really enjoy the fight aesthetically. I like the idea. It's really cool. There's a slight body horror aspect. All this good stuff. But when it comes down to the fight itself, I don't enjoy it because I can't see what the boss is doing. It feels very random. And even when I can see what he's doing, he's got these, like, weird delay attack patterns that force me to do nothing for up to a minute during the fight. And I kind of get to a point of, like, who are you, the Dark Lurker? There's the phase change. Okay, I got the bleed proc off. Okay, he didn't roll into me. It's good. That's the fall on. That's gonna come with a fire thing. Ground fire. Followed by a roll. Okay, he rolled on me, but I can take one. Very low, come on. Got him. Woo! All right. I feel good about a successfully executed strategy for that fight, ultimately. So I think I was, it's not the telegraph of the roll I was able to figure out. It was the cadence of the roll. He's basically gonna do at least one thing and then roll. So once you understand the sequencing, it was pretty doable. It was pretty doable. Because the roll hitbox wasn't that bad. I actually think maybe some of his attacks in the first phase were a bit more frustrating. All right, so I have 180,000 runes as a result of that fight. Nice, nice. We've got Grace over here. Plus, that was not a cheesy win. I appreciate that. Didn't have to result to something ridiculous. Okay. That being said, this Crimson Bubble tier is not doing anything. Restores HP when near death. I thought that would be something a bit better. I guess for now we'll go back to Spike Cracked, and we might change that later. It's fine. It could be whatever. Okay, now to find out what the heck is up in this, like, basin over here. Get back the other stream control. I had to tab down into Twitch so I could set up a marker. Oh, it looks like there's some areas we could walk on along the bottom of this. That's unexpected. I'm gonna get up here and it's just a giant jar. Okay, this is like, I don't really want Torrent right now. I'm worried I would slip off of something. The Forge of the Giants. Okay, is there a way down? We do. Kind of expecting Melina to give me some... What the... Oh. That's annoying. I've actually heard about that bug. Yeah, it's a bug where you mount up, but Torrent doesn't actually, like, take you with him. If you get that bug in combat, you just die. Hopefully they have that fixed soon. Yeah. Oh, is there a message? What do you have to say about this? Yep, standard congratulations. Back pats all around. Alright, let's see. Now, in the event that I just have to fall to get down in here, then I think going over to where that crack is would be best. Huh. Okay. So we've got a decent number of bloodstains. Tranquility indeed. Oh, this guy meet his end. We try to gallop across and... Oh yeah, he didn't make it. It's no good. Okay, so... Let's do the simple checks first. I always misplace my rainbow stones. I thought the rainbow stones... Oh, you know what? I think I ran out of rainbow stones. Actually. Oh no, I've got 30 of them. I'm just looking at the wrong segment, I'm sure. There we go. Like down in utility stuff, I don't know. Okay. So, quick rainbow check. Ah, it's survivable. That's bullshit. That's not how that's supposed to work. Okay. Thank goodness I don't care about 180,000 runes. Not really. But I think if it's gonna be this way, I'm gonna go grab those 180,000 runes. I didn't expect that to be a survivable fall, so when the little sparkle stone, or when the rainbow stone didn't shatter, I was like, oh, that actually works. Okay, neat. But I was betrayed. That is a full-blown kill plane. Yeah, any of those where it changes your camera angle to, like, up above is not a... It's not a fall distance thing, it's a kill plane thing. So let's see. It might be that on that far end I can get in, but if it's gonna screw with me, I'm actually gonna take a moment to go back to the round table and spend runes. Just buy more upgrade materials. Thought I... Huh. Does this actually make a noise? Huh. I didn't realize before. It totally does. Okay, I'll buy up 12 of those. Got 12 of those. I don't actually need to buy more of these right now, so just buy another 12. I don't have anything specific in mind that I want to upgrade yet. So let's just make some unspecified upgrades in that case. I think I also might have some somber upgrades for like catalysts and things. Oh no, that's the 2 fingers. I need to use my own messages. Like, I placed these for a reason.
Well, I took you no matter lay out your own.
Right. Yada yada yada. I'm not concerned about buffing the misery cord more. If I was doing like more parrying stuff, it would be invaluable. I could bump up the Zwei or the Ant Spur. Looks like there's only one more level I could get on the Ant Spur. The dual scimitars is a thought, but in terms of bleeding, yeah, I would actually be better served rather than using the dual scimitars. Where is it? The Scavenger's Curved Sword is the better option. There it is, of which I have just one right now. I need to go fetch another one and get them leveled up. The scimitars are good if I want to do dex scaling to damage, but I don't really care about that. Got a few other things at this point. What is this even? Oh, it has a thunderstorm skill. Okay, alright. Axe, 1 random hammer. For hammer reasons. For all your hammering needs. Oh, right, I got this. Maybe that might be a cool, it's a, huh. It's a fist weapon. There's a foot. I guess we can probably put it on our hands anyway. The hook claw attack patterns I'm not super excited by, so I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, what was even the point of the Erdsteel dagger? I think it's just a... Oh, that's right, it's a dagger that has faith scaling. That's right, that's right. If I could get 2 Wakizashis, I don't know if you can. That looks like it would be pretty good. Very fast. Like 38 base bleed compared to the Scavenger Sword that has a lot more bleed. I'm actually going to go pick up more stuff so that I have the option. Oh, somebody else put Merchant ahead here? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, you copycat. Have I? Yeah, I still haven't given over the Somber 3. It doesn't look like we got any other new generic stuff. That's fine. Yada da 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 da. Okay. We have used the runes. We can get back to roaming around on top of this weird giant cup. Yeah. Get this jacket off too. It's actually decently warm here somehow. I don't know why. It's been so very cold this weekend. I mean, I guess I suppose it did heat up today. Okay, so there's another set of chains and another serpent head over there. And I suppose I could get on the other serpent heads as a way of like clambering down somewhat, but it doesn't really look like I can get down those chains. Yeah. I'm just going to look around for some kind of feature that suggests what I should actually do for this. Well, that suggests I shouldn't go that way. That is a lot of bloodstains. Oh, there's a Grace over here. Okay, yeah. Probably means that this is the way down. And if it isn't, it won't take me that long to respawn. Try Grace. Seek Fire. Alright, let's see. So, how are we looking here? Okay, so there's a strong possibility that that is a lie. Man, I can't trust any of this now. That is a bummer. Well, I'm gonna hedge some bets real quick by trying to double jump across this gap. No? Alright. Yeah, it's a death plane. What are you supposed to do here? It would not have been that hard to give some clearer indicator of how to navigate this. Is there an invisible path? Do I need an NPC to be here? What's going on? It does look like I'm supposed to jump down around the outside. It looks like there's a slight gradation here that I could imagine is trying to say, like, use this to get down. But it's really not... There's no clarity here. Death plane? Immediately. Okay. What is the point of being here? I don't understand. Alright, alright. So there was another door that was leading into the boss arena that I couldn't get to. So there's another way out of the boss arena, and I'm gonna head over there and check on that. Because for all I know, I don't need to be here right now, and there will be some cutscene later that explains something else about it. But this chain here, I had not been able to get up to before. And it might be possible to get up to that chain, but I'm still trying to understand, like, why that chain exists. And for me, a big part of the explanation for why that chain exists is, that's where you go after killing the boss. So let's take a look. Maybe that's where we're supposed to go. Or maybe one of the random corners of the boss arena has something. Radahn was like that. There was actually a dungeon in, like, one of the odd corners of his boss arena. And let's see. Okay, so this is a boss arena corner. Heading over here. Seems like it does not connect with Diddly Squat. And doesn't look like we have any items or beetles or anything. All right. Let's head back over here. Part of me is thinking that maybe this whole area doesn't do anything unless I tell the woman at the fingers, the finger reader, that I want to try burning down the thorns. Maybe that dialogue needs to happen before we can progress here. Okay. So it looks like I could have gotten here normally, though. Maybe this isn't an area past the boss fight, because there's a ramp right on the right side there. Okay, I've already been to that chapel, so it looks like a lot of this is pretty goddamn explored. I could maybe get over here, which I'm not sure if I've taken a look at yet. So let's take a look at that, I guess. I might have to outrun some murder crows for this. Yeah, that drop looks way too long. Okay, so it's pretty possible that there's something down here. That over there looks pretty noteworthy. And when I went through there before, I was going through the bottom. Okay. I think that's another hero's grave, actually. Because I believe all the heroes' graves have had a somewhat similar outer appearance. I don't really like navigating the heroes' graves. Like, somebody's gonna have to tell me that there's some incredible treasure in there before I really want to bother with it. But I'll ride on down there and unlock it as a quick travel spot. That's fine. I don't think I can survive that. Nope. Alright, there's a quick travel spot that's a lot closer to what I'm looking at right now. I'm just gonna do that. Just use grace. Yeah, we can just travel from here. I don't know why I have a marker here. I imagine it was like a misclick, bad input, something. Okay, so yeah, if I just took a right and go along the baseline here. The low path. It's a big old hand guy. Rather not, thank you. Excuse me. Oh. Hands. Caught a little bit of a dramatic music swell there. Alright, I don't see any dungeons on the left. Oh, we've actually got a, like a pile of swords there. This hand is waiting to catch me, and another one. I'm gonna try and speed read this. War against the giants. Champions battle. Trolls betray. Fire vanquished. The era of the Erdtree begins. Trolls betray. Fire vanquished? Oh, it was actually on the swords for a moment. Huh. Yeah. Trolls betray. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that trolls seem to be exploited everywhere we look. All right. This looks like a heck of a lot like a hero's grave. And this is like on top of the world, hero's grave. Well, not quite, because I do understand that a significant amount of the landmass is up in the sky. Like, there's a big old gap here. All right, what do we got? There's Grace. The giant conquering hero's grave. All right. I mean, I'll bite, I'll poke around. I know what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna have a giant friggin' death wheel chasing me. I don't really care to use bloody against skeletons. Go back to Blue Dancer Charm. We don't need this anymore, so I want to set that. Carrion Filigrade. And I guess Assassin Cerulean. And like, I mean, this is the build I would be using for Hoarfrost spam, and I don't really need to spam Hoarfrost in a general area when I'm just walking around. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep going with Strength and Dex then. It's more damage scaling. Alright, Stone Sword Key first of all, because, you know, we got them. We got plenty of Stone Sword Keys. Huh. Flame protect me. That's all we get. A library is pretty unexpected. Oh, a flame monk? Check for anybody else. Ouch. 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 Okay, we couldn't quite fully stagger him. I'm gonna pivot off of blood to something that causes me to actually do bonus damage. And if we've got flame monks in here, let's go for cold. There we go. Lots more damage per hit. It took a while for the frost to proc there. I guess they're resistant because they're flame monks. You can always go either way on those. I thought that would be breakable. I was loosely worried there was a skeleton inside. Oh, we got one of those watcher things just hanging out. Huh. Just a regular guy, I guess. He looks like shadowy, though. I don't know what to make of that. And 2 imps, oh boy. He's not taking any damage. Okay. Guess we're on death run mode. What is this? Be wary of Wraith, therefore try luring out. Okay, interesting. So if we pull enemies into this area, they turn normal. Oh, that's like a troll statue. Is that left a troll message because we've got a fire pillar thing there? Yeah, he's gung-ho. Wait, did he just reset? Because he's like, oh, if I don't get to ambush you. Very mediocre damage from Frost and these guys. Ah, couldn't get behind him. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be using the ritual shield ring. I forgot. Oh, the front plate is actually reminiscent of a fire giant. And the fire is what they conquered. It was a war between the trolls and the people of the Erdtree against the fire giants. And what we killed was probably the last one. Given, you know, Dark Souls. Okay. Can I just run past you and not have to fight you every single time? Also, what's actually down in these other areas? Like, what do we have down here? Oh, it's just like a Grave Glovewort. Okay. Well, a Grave Glovewort 9 is very exciting casually. That's gonna delay them for a long-ass time. Ow. I actually got pinned between the two of them. So that one is slap it to start it. That's kind of neat. I mean, I can see there's an interesting dungeon looking here. An interesting dungeon around here. I'm just really not compelled to try and clear every dungeon. I've already resolved myself that it may not be immediately after I finish this run, but later down the line, I'm going to be doing another SL1 run of the game, and I'm not going to allow myself to alter any of the... I'm not going to allow myself to make adjustments to the Ashes of War that are originally on any given weapon. I can use whatever Ashes of War are already on a weapon, but for the next run I do of this, I'm not going to let myself use Hoarfrost Stomp at all, because it's just making the run less interesting in a lot of ways. So given that I will be making that adjustment, I'm not too worried about being exhaustive on this run. Okay, so we made it to this kiln thing, which is maybe more of a dead end than I thought it would be. We got up here, we checked that out, yada 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 yada. So there's the Grand Lift of Rold over here, and somehow there's a way to get over into this. And I have no idea where that pathway actually starts up, because all of this is pretty much sheer cliff. I don't think this is a survivable drop, from what I remember of seeing it earlier. So this path has got to start from somewhere else. This made me wonder if maybe it starts at the lift somehow. I also got to wonder where the heck this is pointing. Oh, there's like a path here. Sort of. Well, what does that actually look like? Let's take a look at this. So I still need to find out what's up with the Halig tree. Or like where the secret Halig tree lift is. Alright, cut back this way. So going around here and then down through here. Excuse me, giant golem boys. So these golems that we can see, I'm having a little bit of difficulty understanding their purpose, because they seem to be showing up in places as if they are defending the air tree or aligned with it. But I don't quite understand like how that allegiance is shaking out. Right, there's the Oriza Hero's Grave. So, it'd be this direction past this Rune Bear. So it doesn't look like there's a... Oh, hey, there's a dungeon, at least. Okay, yeah, well, that would be the dungeon that was being pointed to. Well, let's take a look at this real quick. The Oriza Side Tomb. So standard catacomb stuff, find a switch, hit switch, move on. Got some jars hanging out. That looks like it's a very lethal drop. Something gonna drop on my head in this room and kill me. We have a transporter trap. Where are we going? Just put me somewhere else in the same tomb? Alright, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so we've got the switch on the other side of this room. Just need to figure out how to get up. And naturally, we've got imps. Pretty expected. Maybe a giant crab coming in. Something trying to throw lightning at us from up there. And here's another chest. Is this all just going to be about... Is this all just going to be about transporter traps? Because that's kind of neat. This is just a troll message. Rushing in. Ooh. Bye. Y'all can just blow up. Whenever you want to, but, like, come on, take care of it. Alright, yeah. It's another transport trap. But this one's part of a secret room, so, like, I should probably go ahead and let it go. Alright, where are we going? This is maybe an interesting gimmick, but I worry that there are not enough, like, identifiers to make this fun. Get out of here. That's the guy who was throwing lightning at me before. And I'm guessing, like, up through here is... Okay, it's another imp. One of them got me with lightning. And I'm dead. Okay. And that was not the area where the switch is, so... Alright. I thought the switch was around here somewhere. Well, I can't tell. I don't know how many rooms in that area are just this, like, a very similar looking room. So this actually looks like it would be a real pain in the neck to map, and I'm not going to worry about it. Do need to mark it to indicate there is still something cool there. And while I'm at it, need to throw a marker on this hero's grave as well. Alright. This is also pointing towards a dungeon that I did not locate. Which is probably either right here. So a lot of these are like that. Or maybe somewhere on the opposite side. So I didn't hang out around there too much. There was an NPC in the Stargazer's ruins that I couldn't figure out. And that was a merchant. I think that NPC might be related to Ronnie. So I'm going to go back and pay Ronnie another visit. I have not seen Ronnie in a long time, and I've done a couple other things in the meantime, including actually passing Ronnie's Centipede Mark rune off to Fia, and I don't know what interactions that may cause with Ronnie. I also still haven't found Blaze since the meteor fell. Last time I saw him was at the thing with Radahn. I'm half expecting to find his corpse somewhere. I'm a little confused that I didn't find his corpse somewhere in the underground in the vicinity of Nokron. But we got the dagger in Nokron. Then we went across the aqueducts and found Dee's brother and Fia and got through all of their stuff. Oh, this has got a Grace here at the top now instead. And Ronnie's not here. Oh, and we're getting the guidance of Grace based on this? Okay, looks like we're going to Rena's Rise then. That's different. And we still haven't been inside Rena's Rise. It's been closed the entire time. So, progress! Yay! There's still a couple dragons I haven't taken out as well. Wait, have I been in that? What is this? Oh yes, I've been to this cellar. That's right, that's right. Yeah, Celibus, this whole thing. And I haven't determined what is, like, up with this, apart from the fact that Celavis is probably a creep. But, you know, there's almost certainly more to that whole thing to look into. Although, honestly, the capacity to progress quests in Dark Souls is so opaque that I'm almost always, like, every day of the week, I'm gonna look it up on the internet. The places you have to go and the things you have to do to progress a Dark Souls quest are absolute moon logic sometimes. Which is a bummer. Sometimes it works just fine, but these are the quests are absolutely built for, like, a multiple playthrough trial and error setup. Oh, we get Ronnie's outfit. That's cool. A teleporter? Where's this gonna put us? Feeling that we're in for some something dramatic. Ainsel River Main. Ah, okay. This is the river main for Ainsel, which has been, like, kind of a missing thing. I mean, this has been a clearly present part of the map from what we found earlier, though not one that we could interact with. A miniature Ronnie. The heck is that? Is that a key item? What is that? Doll resembling Ronnie the Witch. From head to toe, every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. That's so weird. And yet I expect it has some very purposeful use somewhere in the game. Okay. So, let's see. This is basically, like, there's not a whole lot we would expect to be able to access down here that is new. Because we've been through this area fairly thoroughly. This is the spot where we fought, actually, maybe not. Because this is the area where we fought the, Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. So we might be able to go actually through here and through a whole nother area that we haven't accessed before. Oh, we actually have no horse here. And that is one of those things from earlier that I had to kill, that I killed using just a bunch of kukri. Like, a whole lot of them. So, if that's the case, what do I have for throwing weapons available to me? That's a decent amount of them. Yeah, he won't try to kill me. That'll work. Don't steal my lock on. I'll probably have to use multiple throwables for this. Let me actually use the poison ones instead of those. Oh, these are shorter range. Okay. In that case, let me try and get around this. Okay, that's one of the big flowers over there. I was wondering, it looked kind of distressing. Oh, these guys actually fall apart in a muck? Huh. Okay, I can actually hit this guy with quite a lot of poison darts before I need to relocate. Okay, he's under poison. Okay, now we're getting a lot more damage out of the Kukri. I certainly hope these guys are a single-time spawn. I think the other one was. So these are both in the Ainsel River, I guess. Oh, there's the blood proc. Really close to done. And there he goes. Somber. Weak foe. It might have been, I don't know. Beats me. I could have possibly also tried something like Flame of the Redmanes on him to get him done. Or I even could have tried like a melee setup with Blood Slash, I don't know. I haven't actually tried meleeing one of those guys at all, because it looks like a huge pain to do. Okay, so this looks like it leads somewhere. Could this be a water slide? Wait, water slide is a word? Okay, that's got to be a scripted message of some kind. Let's see. So we're at the Old Palace ruins here. We could maybe go to the... let me just go through this. This is about where I was thinking I would need to go anyway. Looks like we've got ants, which is pretty much expected. Ice is pretty effective here. Oh, we're gonna actually run into Blade now. I don't think the ants have a roof drop attack, though that looks like it's Death Mist. Oh my goodness. It was Death by Damage Mist. I don't think you could snipe me out of the air with that. Well, I think that other guy probably shouldn't respawn, and I should be able to run past, but if that guy's going to respawn every time, we're going to have to deal with it. It's going to be a pain in the neck. Before I worry about that, is there anything else behind me? This tree looks mysterious. I don't know why. I guess there's a couple of that kind of tree around here, so it shouldn't be mysterious, but... Ah. I think it's like a Papa Nito reference type of thing. So we've got a couple things there. Alright, alright. No big deal. That's what I loosely expected to be back there. It's why I didn't bother to check the first time through. Okay, yeah, looks like that bothersome thing is not back. Good, 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 good. So I can just run ahead. Oh, there is also the plant over in the back. There's probably some decent items being, like, hidden by that thing. Yeah, we got something purple, so that's worth taking a look. Yeah, that's all I'm going to bother with. No, don't need to worry about the rest. It's such a troll that in various places of the game, you can interact with one of those purple things and just get like a nascent butterfly or a an Arteria leaf. Like, this is not important by any stretch of the imagination. What are you making me turn around for? Okay. So I think these ants, I don't think they have a fall from the ceiling move. So I should actually be moving up on them very aggressively before they actually drop. Okay, these are the winged variety. I might just sneak past them on the right. Yeah, especially if there's Grace ahead. Listening for the sound of either of those guys activating. Sounds good. Okay, we don't see Grace straight away, so it's probably up in the building. You have an elevator? No? Okay. And here's Noxtella as opposed to Nukron. And there's the Grace. Oh, is something riding the ants now? Yep, we've definitely got ant riders down here. All right. All right, I've only got about 15 minutes more to run around here. Though I am happy to have found a new area to check out. Bit of magic grease. We meet like this, and the first thing you do is try to stab me. Poor etiquette, you know. A few silver tier bits. You look angry. Oh, it's one of that variant guy. Okay. I heard a slurping sound behind me, and I'm concerned. Huh. We got a whole lot of nothing here. Ah, this is actually a treasure chest. Okay. Ant skull plate. Okay. I'm imagining that's a shield. Hopefully one with some extra effects. I'm going to take a look at what that is out of curiosity. So it is a great shield. It's got the shield bash ability. Causes 90 poison buildup. That is unbelievable. Let's see. Huge head of one of the giant ants which inhabit the 2 underground rivers. Used without modification as a shield. Excels at repelling enemy attacks. Giant ants are venomous creatures, granting a boost to immunity when wearing this when wielding this shield. Neat. It's like there was one in there that I didn't recognize. The icon shield. Huh. I don't know when I got this. Oh, you gradually restore HP while you're carrying it. Cool. Dragon Claw shield is imbued with lightning. Does lightning damage. Shield bash. Got some of these crucible horn shields. Skewers foes when performing shield bashes. Yep. Uh-huh. This one has a bash too. It's lava in shield form. That wall looked strange to me. I don't know why. Oh, these are like electrified versions of silver tears. I don't really want to fight that. Nothing back here. Oh, something back here. Awesome. The opposite of nothing. Archer ashes. Well, that would maybe be pretty cool if I were using ashes. I expect there's a lot of ashes that I have not collected, hanging back in the various temples I've ignored. Or catacombs and things that I haven't fully explored. this whole stretch is ripe for running through. I do not want to have to fight that many blobs. So we got something over there. Okay, yep, we'll pop a stone sword key. What you got for me? Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. Okay. A bit of the frost. I don't even know if I ever found a use for Silver Tear husks. I'm not sure if I did. Okay, so we've got a ball that is rolling up a thing. Is it gonna roll back down? Yeah, it is. It's kind of slow. Where does it stop? Is the ball aggroed to me? I'm not comfortable with this. It is aggroed to me. Okay. Hurry up. Ah. I just want to open this and get an item real quick before you kill me. Oh, you troll. You closed the frickin' door on me? A larval tear. Okay. I am confused. Are these things actually beatable in melee? I'm very hesitant to try and engage one in any kind of melee, because I'm expecting they just do raunchy combat damage. So I found one of these earlier in Nokron, but I assumed it was like a trap, not an enemy type. Nope, looks like we've got an enemy type that is giant friggin' ball. I'm actually gonna pop a flask drink here. Oh man, this is an obnoxious enemy type. Because it can just slowly roll into me for lethal, and I have no idea what its telegraph is. I mean, it looks like it can stop for a moment and then quickly roll as well. So I've got two distinct things to look out for. All right, let's see. What does it look like if I go across the river and then start going up? So the enemies that were in Celia as like the bosses there are these dudes who we see later in Nokron. Oh, he hits it hits again just when he pulls it backwards. All right. It explains what was up with their flexile weapons before. They're based on the same thing that the Silver Tears are based on, like mimic guys. So, essentially, we're being told this is a dungeon, like this is a castle, because we're not able to mount up while we're here, which is a castle-oriented trait. And indeed, it seems like there's 4 different directions about how to start up this this exploration, and some pretty dangerous stuff along the way. That didn't hit my character. Right, I got the items. I don't need to go back through there and deal with those guys. It looks like there might be a side street that's a little past them. There's also the center route where I just go up the water, like, further. Try to avoid as many ant riders as possible. Okay, yeah, so there's an alley back over there. There's some kind of... Okay, there's a lot of creatures over there. There's snails up over there. What's here? More snails? Celestial Dew. Okay, that's for saying sorry. It's a sorry juice. Is there anything around this corner? It doesn't look like it. But this goes on for a bit of a ways, so I should check behind. Yeah, we got something. Okay, that was really meaningless. I mean, I really don't think I found any use for silver tear husks. I haven't been actually looking through this menu in a long time. Yeah, I've got a couple newer pots and things that might be useful. Who knows? Sleep pots require Trina's lilies. Very rare. Sleep is probably very effective for trying to get through some things. I don't need to look through any of the string pots. They're the same. The spray mists might be fairly effective. Poison mist, acid mist, FP to enter a fervored state, script stone, which looks like it's kind of just a funny thing. We've got the better version of the raisins, grace mimics, which are probably very interesting. Human bone shards are a little limiting unless we go into more catacombs. I've still never actually used a Grace Mimic before. Like, what does this actually do? Yeah, it just points a general direction. Okay. I'm assuming that the direction it points is actually a direction relative to some objective. Or possibly direction to the next grace. Wherever that may be. Okay, so I could certainly try to make it all the way through the middle, through all that stuff. That's kind of a lot of junk. So it looks like we've got two paths that are both along the left. The upper path, and then this path. There's the fight before... there's where I had the fight before with the Dragonkin. Only got several treasure chests over here. Because there are several treasure chests here, and that hasn't been a feature in other dungeons, it actually makes me wonder if the design for this dungeon happened earlier in the development process. Oh, they can shoot things. It actually makes me wonder if this was designed earlier on, and then like later pushed later in the game at some point. An interesting thing about Dark Souls development is that they'll make a lot of areas kind of independently and then talk about kind of pulling them together and arranging them in the world. So you get areas that are cut and things like that, but the areas that are most polished and most intricate are often areas that are very early in the game, and the later areas usually get more straightforward. Dark Souls 3 was a really good exception to this rule. Some of the areas that are later in Dark Souls 3, like, wasn't Elian Lois. Oh, you attack a lot. It's a little awkward coming up on that person when she's that close to all these slimes, and running past those is going to be a pain. They might even do contact damage because of their electrification. I don't know. But you get to the capital city, and it's actually pretty intricate. There were a lot of interweaving paths and things like that. The Karthus catacombs is fairly intricate. The first area you're in is pretty intricate, but some of the later areas, like the profane capital, is very small. There's not a lot going on there. He's got a Mysterio hat. All right. And like similarly, looking at the design of this, Limgrave is very sprawling. You can go all over the place in Limgrave. Caelid has a bit going on in various directions, but it's more dangerous. So it's not actually as big. You're not actually going through as many areas because each individual area you're going through is harder. And they were kind of sensitive to that. Liurnia is actually huge. Liurnia is almost a direct step up on Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula in terms of its scale and everything that's going on. And we still haven't been over here, which I think is going to be something after this stuff we do in the Ainsel River might let us get over there. I don't know. So we still haven't been over here. And I know for certain that there are several things I missed in the course of exploring Liurnia because it's really massive. Like, I think it has the most number of map segments too. Because we came in here, there's like 1 or 2 maps for that. There was 1 map for the center area. All of these like thin lines that we can barely make out here. Each of those is separating off like a map segment. And we had a crazy number of map segments here. Like, I don't even know what this is. It's probably something I missed. Go figure. Liurnia was enormous. Altus, the Altus Plateau didn't have too much going on, but Gelmir is this big, huge, crazy dungeon. And Lane is also kind of a big old dungeon that even has like the sewer levels underneath that are completely optional and super different. But then we get over here to the Forbidden Lands and the like mountain giants stuff, and it's possible that I just didn't like spend a lot of time on externalities over here, but a lot of this looked to be kind of empty space, and there were features in the environment, but not a lot of actual stuff. This is not dense the same way that like Limgrave and Liurnia are. Like, Liurnia is huge, but has a lot of content. Over here, we had like big linear stretches, like the entirety of the Forbidden Lands. That's just a linear jaunt. So you see later in the game, there's less kind of polish going on, or like less intricacy. And then, you know, we come down here and we find that there's a whole nother goddamn dungeon. There's a whole nother castle for Noxtella. And we've still got to climb up all this junk. And I think actually, like, you can loosely describe Elden Ring as, like, being identifiable as this mix of open world roaming, dungeons that are very reminiscent of the Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne, and big old castles. If this was an older Dark Souls game, the entire game would just be each of the castles like strung together with like really small areas in between, because like you could think about the Karthus catacombs as being one of these castles. You could think about like the profane capital as being like a really small fort compared to the way Elden Ring is like laid out. And when you get down to it, if you just look at the content of Elden Ring, you could easily say that Elden Ring is made up of, like, you've got Castle Morn, you've got Stormvale Castle, Redmane Castle, Celia, which is a dungeon, basically. It's just kind of a light dungeon. You don't need to do much there. Excuse me. You've got Celia, Raya Lucaria, This manor was definitely a dungeon, like a decent amount of. This is a decent amount of castle. So it's a Caria Manor, and then over here you've got Gelmir, Lanedell, the Shaded Castle. So Gelmir, Lanedell, the Shaded Castle, Caria Manor, Raya Lucaria, Stormvale Castle. Stormvale Castle, Castle Morn, Redmane, and then Nokron and Noxtella. And then I would say that the Castle Sol. Yeah, I wouldn't really count this as being too much in and of itself. That's not. There's not really a dungeon going on in this area. This is just like some in between stuff. So far, essentially, we found like 11 major dungeons, and then there's just a whole lot of stuff in between. Various activities, collectibles, collect all the dragons, get all the Tibia Mariners, get all of the Erdtree avatars, and those are just kind of repeated enemies, but it's a collection thing. You're running around. A lot of them are based on sensible landmarks, so there's all that. I don't think I ever got down into this body of water to check it out. I don't know if this is explorable, but if it is, I totally didn't do it. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Like, I don't know if I looked at these, at this run of buildings over here, or whatever this is back here. It's a big friggin' game, man. It's a big game. It's a big game, but you can break the game down into being like 11 really cool, important dungeons, and then like a whole lot of other tiny catacombs that are pretty optional that you don't need to fuss with. And I think replaying the game, I'm not going to fuss with individual dungeons unless I know that a critical drop is hanging out in that spot. And there's a lot of dungeons in Limgrave where that's the case. You need to like get access to your basic talismans. But if you're playing RL1, there's only so many talismans and things that actually matter. You need the Soar Seal, you need the Ritual Shield Talisman, you need the stat adjusting talismans that matter for your build. The Blue Dancer Charm is really cool, but like all of the talismans that do resistances and that kind of stuff, they don't matter. The Crimson Amber Medallion +1, not enough of a difference really. All of these guys, the Drake talismans, these don't matter. They don't cut it. The Mottled Necklace and the Horn Charms are pretty good. These were worth exploring for. These are weird. I think these are a cool idea, but I think I can't understand enough about the stats to value them. I think the Spear Talisman is probably good because that's the Hornet Ring. And the Hornet Ring has been a good weapon in the past games. But I think the Hammer Talisman's no good for PvE. I think this is not very good for PvE. I think the Axe Talisman is way worse for PvE, and I have no idea if it's actually sufficient in... It's even worse for PvP, and I have no idea if it's sufficient or worthwhile in PvE. From exploring with it, it doesn't seem to be a big change. This is almost impossible to use. This is okay. This is actually reasonable, especially casually. This is very situational but reasonable. I have no idea how much of a difference this is. Like, I can't tell, and that's part of the problem. This looks like it's essential for some people. This looks like it's probably a big deal for some builds. There's a lot of things like that. I haven't found the other Scorpion Charms. They're probably pretty good sometimes. Like, I know the Frost Scorpion Charm is probably a huge deal if you can find it. Or the Magic Scorpion Charm? I think Frost damage is magic damage. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in the game. Alright. This is about the time I gotta go to bed. It's like midnight. I gotta work tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jupiter Exile. Maybe we wander again soon.